Okay, I'm going to read this out loud to you. It's a little bit longer than what we've been doing in the past, so I'm just going to have to get going and get started quickly. From the History of Movie Making by Gallimard something. Lights, action, but no camera. Centuries before Hollywood existed, people used light and screens to create moving images. In the 18th and 19th centuries, magic lanterns were popular in Europe. The earliest had a simple lens and used candles to light up pictures painted on glass slides. In 1885, George Eastman of Rochester, New York, introduced paper-backed film. Thomas Alva Edison and his assistant W.K.L. Dixon used George Eastman's flexible film when they made a motion picture camera. Their kintograph, patented in 1891, had a sprocket or wheel with teeth. An electric motor turned the sprocket. The sprocket teeth hooked the perforations and pulled the film through the camera. The first picture show. Paris, 1894. Louis Lumiere peeps into an Edison kinetoscope projecting machine. He's inspired. Paris, 1895. Louis and his brother, Auguste Lumiere, project the first publicly screened film using their own invention, the cinematograph. It combined the strong lamp and lens of a magic lantern with a shutter and film reel mechanism. By 1898, the Lumieres had collected almost 1,000 short films. Most of them were real-life footage or news events from around the world. But Georges Méliès, a Parisian theater magician, had some fantastic ideas that would take film beyond reality. The Lumiere brothers' hand-cranked inventions was a combination of camera, projector, and printer. The camera could shoot film. The projector kept the film still while a frame was projected on the screen. Then the frame was quickly advanced. Some audiences were shocked by the realistic pictures. The train moved as if it would plunge right into the audience. Supposedly, some frightened viewers ran out of the theater. The Lumieres were the founders of realistic films. It took a magician to create a whole new type of film. Georges Méliès, a well-known Parisian magician and theater owner, tried to buy a cinematograph from the Lumieres in 1895. They would not sell it to him. So Méliès went to London and bought some Eastman film. He designed his own camera and built a studio, a 25 by 55-foot shed in his garden. Then Méliès started making films. At first, like the Lumieres, he shot travel scenes or scenes from daily life. Then, quite by accident, Georges Méliès learned about special effects. In 1896, Méliès' camera jammed while he was filming a Paris street. It took him a few seconds to fix it and continue shooting. Meanwhile, the street scene changed. A bus drove away and a hearse drove up. When Méliès projected his film, he was astonished to see the bus suddenly turned into a hearse. He began to experiment with this kind of stop-motion photography. In 1902, Méliès produced the science fiction classic A Trip to the Moon, which brought him worldwide fame. The approximately 11-minute silent film was based on the work of Jules Verne. It showed the adventures of 6 astronomers who pile into a rocket, get shot out of a cannon, and land smack in the eye of the man in the moon. Méliès Star Film Studio used extraordinary sets, props, and film effects to do things like make the moon's face move. Alright, so you're going to answer questions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You should have these printed out in a packet for you. If you want an explanation of what these questions are, then go to my other video that is under today's date.